Welcome back to 360 Sports. I'm Sophia Koch, and I'm here with
Viviana,
Sophia.
And Jacob.
So let's start off with our headlines. Yesterday's game left us with 5 undefeated teams in the NFL: the Vikings, the Chiefs, Steelers, the Seahawks, and the Bills, who will play tonight. What are your thoughts on these undefeated teams?
Yep. The Vikings are really surprising me, honestly. I know Sam Darnold's doing fantastic. He's making that noise. I thought originally when I saw the headline that J.J. McCarthy was out, that was going to be rocky for them because they were so adamant on getting him in the draft. So I was like, I know they had a lot of game plays around getting him, and they were really maneuvering their team like that. And then they lost Kirk Cousins, who they were so comfortable with. But Sam Darnold is doing everything for them. Thank God that his MRI was ruled as like just an injury scare. He just has like a bruised bone or something. So he's still in it, and I think that's what's going to make them keep being an undefeated team. Because they beat the 49ers 23-17, the Texans 34-7, which really surprised me because I feel like their roster, their offense at least, is really stacked after what they did in free agency. So they play Green Bay this Sunday, who have been also doing pretty well, and they're at Green Bay. So I'm interested to see if they can keep going. But Sam Darnold stays healthy, I really have no doubt for them.
Yeah, leading off your point with Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, he's got to be sitting at home crying because if Sam Darnold keeps us up, he lost his job. It's over. Sam Darnold's on a tear right now. He's leading touchdowns. He's up there with passing yards. I know he put 300, almost 300 on the 49ers defense. Started off, got a great year. Brian Flores is doing his thing. No more Brian Flores years, making a great defense. Well, a good defense look great. I think they're off to a great start. What do you think?
Yeah, with their defense, they have 16 sacks, 5 interceptions, and a forced fumble. So I think that dominance, too, is just all around making them a better team.
And not only the Vikings, though, the Steelers, too. Justin Fields has really, shown up and shown out. Because he was the underdog. He wasn't supposed – it was, up in the air. Russell Wilson, he's a veteran. He should start over Justin Fields. Now – there's really nothing that should convince the coaches to not put in Justin Fields, even if when Russell Wilson, he recovers from that calf injury. You know, the Steelers every year, it's like they come out strong or they don't, or they have a rocky middle. But if Justin Fields keeps playing the way he does, I'm very confident that they will be playoff contenders. They will have a very good score. And I'm not a Steelers fan, I'm saying that. So,
do you think the Steelers will keep Justin Fields or go back to Russell Wilson?
If they didn't keep Justin Fields, I'd be very confused because it's like just because I get it, you have a veteran, and I get it. He's shown in the years that he has it in him. But like when you have a young player, you got young blood, young body, someone that's not going to injure as easily. Why would you not keep him in? It would just, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, and if we're looking if they're wanting to build off of Justin Fields too for the franchise, I think that'll be way better for them because, like you said, Russell Wilson is getting up there in age, and with the injuries, is he just going to continue to keep getting hurt?
I think we got to slow down on the Justin Fields hype. I don't think
think
he's
so?
that good.
Really?
The Steelers right now, look, the defense is probably one of the best in the league. That's why they're 3-0 right now. The offense, let's take it down a notch. They've only got one offensive touchdown a game, and everything else are field goals. They're not playing the best that they can. They still need a wide receiver too. George Pickens can't do it by himself. I think there's
Calvin
a lot.
Austin.
I don't think he's the future. Is he really that good? I don't know. I think getting a touchdown or two a game isn't the recipe of success. They have a great defense. That's what's keeping them in these games. But we've seen it a lot in the past with all these great defenses with really bad offenses. They can't keep it up the whole year. At some point, the defense just gets tired.
Yeah. Well, it's only week 3 too.
Yep.
So
do you think Russell Wilson could have done the same as Justin Fields?
Honestly, I think Russell Wilson's at the end of his days. We saw him in Denver. He didn't look like himself. Yeah, he had a couple better games when Sean Payton came in, but I don't think he's the future. Justin Fields, as of now, yes, it's his job. I think he deserves it. 3-0 in the season. If Russell Wilson comes in and loses a game, that fan base, they're not holding back on him.
No, it's like Russell Wilson doesn't have room for mistake because he's also supposed to be the top dog. He's supposed to be better than Justin Fields. And like you said, I think he's at the end of his thing. They're blaming it on Denver management and coaching staff for why. And he was, not treated the best. But it comes down to it. He's had so many years in the NFL, and he's got his name. But I don't know. I feel like it's a reputation that they've kind of been holding on to from years prior, that they're just stretching out as long as they can.
Going off that quarterback situation, Geno Smith and the Seahawks, 3-0. What do we think about it?
I like Geno Smith. I liked him last season. Me and my stepdad always root for him, and I'm not a Seahawks fan, but when he's playing, I don't know. I think he's got a lot of good potential. I think he's experienced. I don't think I don't think he does anything wrong, but he doesn't do anything mind-blowing sometimes, like those quarterbacks that are always in the media. But
He's a game manager.
yeah, that's exactly it. He does his job.
Yeah.
And I feel like people, when you're not like making, I don't know, like 5 touchdowns a game or something like that, you're not talked about enough, which, all right, but he deserves his flowers.
What are your guys' thoughts about the Bills with their winning streak?
I think it's a little unexpected. I thought, look, they're a great team. Any team with Josh Allen's a contender. I thought they were a decent team coming in. I didn't think they were that great of a team. I think it was supposed to be a down year, but Josh Allen's in MVP form. I think they could keep it up as long as he's playing like himself.
So let's move on to our next headline. The Panthers scored 36 and beat the Raiders yesterday behind Andy Dalton with 319 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. What does this mean for Bryce Young? Do you think he will be traded?
Well, it's like speculated that like he's not going to be traded because like they did just draft him. They picked him over CJ Stroud, which is wild because we see how good CJ Stroud is doing right now, especially for the Texans. They say that they're not going to trade him, but I have a feeling like this offseason, it'll be in the works.
Could be in the works. The Panthers are desperate for a line. I mean, anyone that's going to show them a glimpse of victory and something that can get them out of, because they have a horrible, the last season, I don't even remember, I just know the record was abysmal. It is not, they do bad every year. I think there was even talk that they were going to have to like sell the franchise because it was just doing so poorly. Fans weren't showing up to the games.
Yeah.
So if Andy Dalton's going to do this and he's going to keep this up, I think Bryce Young's really got to watch out because they've got this rookie. He didn't do anything. And I don't know. I feel like the Panthers is a team that can't wait seasons for him to pick it up. Like, they've got to do it now or, like, the owners are going to get pissed. Fans are already getting pissed. It's, like, not working out.
Not working out at all. I think Andy Dalton, somehow he's still throwing touchdowns at this age. But I thought the most mind-blowing thing about that game was that the O-line actually found a way to block for him. So in my mind, I'm thinking there must be some problem between the O-line and Bryce Young because they didn't care about blocking for him at all. Do I think Andy Dalton is the truth for this team? No. I still think you're not making the playoffs. I think you still got to play a young quarterback. Give him some time. You saw Andy Dalton could do this. You know, he could throw the touchdowns. You saw Deontay Johnson still looks like a stud. He had over 100 yards yesterday. I think you give Bryce Young a chance, couple more games. Leave him in there, see if he can produce. If he can't, then it's time to move on.
So moving on to our last headline, unfortunately, there has been some injuries in the league. Guys like IR and Isaiah Pacheco and CMC. There are some injuries yesterday to Devontae Smith, Myles Garrett, Justin Herbert, and others. What are your guys' thoughts on these injuries?
I think it's sad seeing all these guys get injured, especially so early in the season. Yesterday when Justin Herbert played the Steelers, also Joey Bosa got hurt, and he's like one of their main guys on defense, bringing energy. And I just feel bad for him because he's so injury prone. He hasn't played through a full season, and who knows how long.
Yep.
And it's just sad, especially all these guys being like game changers. I mean, Myles Garrett not on the field, what's that going to do for the Browns defense? Christian McCaffrey too. Like we've seen Purdy sometimes like without the run game,
Right.
the 49ers are nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
without
I
the
mean-
best running back in the league, it's pretty hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
My thing about these injuries is just like, so I'm a Jets fan. So they played last Thursday. So I'm looking through Sunday to see like who I want to watch, what's going on. And a lot of these players are like, I'll flip on that game because I like watching these players.
Yeah.
With these big names out, I don't know. Makes it like not as much fun to watch those games. Like that's not their fault. They're getting injured and it's horrible. But like, I feel like that's like a popular thing that like having such big names out, like those are people's favorite players and like favorite players of like all time too. So like, I don't know, but the NFL has gone pretty like, I don't know, pretty vulnerable, pretty soft. So like, I don't really understand like what else there is to do to prevent all these injuries.
I think the biggest thing they can do is right now, like in this day and age, all of these players, they sit out the preseason. No one wants to play it. I think that's a big issue because back then everyone didn't play every game, but they'd play, week 2, week 3 of the preseason. They come into the season, they're a little bit prepared. As of now, you've got the stars. They don't even play in the preseason. So they're coming to week 1. They don't even know how it feels to get tackled in a while, except for training camp, but that's not full speed tackling. So I think if you get them on the field, yes, some people are going to get hurt. It's part of the game. It happens. But I think it will help their bodies get a little bit more prepared.
Right, because you're taking those hits the first couple of weeks, and it's like, and these players are kind of like older. Like CMC is not the youngest player in the league, so when you've got the best running back and you're putting him out there, and you don't want him, like, I don't know, play him like anyone else. Like get him that experience so that
Yeah.
he's used to it, his body's adjusted. Like I don't know. It's just like hard to see each week. I feel like there's this new headline, like someone big is hurt, and someone that there's a lot of teams where they're riding on 2 players playing well. So when those players get out, like not everyone has a whole bench and a whole offensive line, and defensive line to like back them up all the time.
Conwell's asked Daniel Jones for Bryce Young.
I'm Daniel Jones' biggest hater. Daniel Jones, he's getting bailed out by Malik Neighbors right now. Absolutely bailed out.
I'd say I'd put in or at least Bryce Young. Bryce Young's got like, that youth in him to give him an excuse. Daniel Jones just like
he's horrible.
He's horrible.
He's
horrible.
done.
Anyone
He's
I
not
don't
that guy.
understand how you defend him.
They gave him way too much money this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Poor
Getting
Giants
top
fan.
quarterback money to be this bad is insane.
Embarrassing.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next segment, Start, Bench, Cut. We're going to show you guys 3 different players on the board, and you're going to pick one to start, one to bench, and one to cut.
Mhm.
So we're starting off with Jared Goff, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold.
I would start Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I'm starting Sam Darnold.
I'm starting Sam
We gotta
Darnold.
say.
He's healthy. He's good. He's only got that little bum bruise. He's gonna fight through. I know the Vikings are riding on him. Start him. I would go. I don't know. I'd go bench Geno.
No, I'm going Jared Goff here.
Jared
I
Goff.
started Jared Goff.
Yeah, when you look at Geno Smith and Jared Goff, they're both. I'm not gonna say either one's a game changer. I said they're both game managers.
Mhm.
But I would rather have Jared Goff than the 35-year-old Geno Smith.
That's true.
Yeah,
Jared
yeah.
Goff's got that experience too. Also, like I don't know. I feel more reliable. So yeah.
I do still want to put out there that the Seahawks, they have probably talent-wise a top 5 offense in the league. If you put Jared Goff on the Geno Smith Seahawks offense, I think they're a way better team. So that's why I think he should get the bench
That's
spot.
true. So you
Yeah.
think that Geno Smith isn't making its offense like to what it could be?
No, I think they could be a better team.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we're going to move on to our next. We have Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, and Benjamin Robinson.
Yeah,
I'm
this
I'm
is hard.
starting Alvin Kamara. What about you guys?
I don't know. I don't know. I was in between benching him or what do you think?
Honestly, I'm leaning towards starting Bijan. Alvin Kamara, yeah, he's got the touchdowns right now, but I do think Bijan's a better player.
Okay.
He's got the speed on his side. He's got the better O-line and all that. I think he will have a better season. I think Bijan's just a better player than Alvin Kamara in this day and age.
Okay.
But I do think that both of them are better than Jonathan Taylor.
So he should be cut.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor's getting cut. He's a great running back, but
Yeah. Well, like when you're up against, I agree with you. Bijan start, Alvin Kamara bench, and then
yeah.
Jonathan Taylor cut.
But if we are talking the rest of the season, do we really think Alvin Kamara is going to keep this up? Like Jonathan Taylor, he's got a great O-line. We know he can keep this up. The Saints, no one expected this. Do you really think Kamara is going to keep this up the rest of the year?
I don't know. I mean, it really also all depends on like with being the running back, you really depend also on your O-line. So you
Yep.
got to look at like how they're going to do it. They're going to keep up their end because if you got a horrible O-line, it doesn't matter it really almost doesn't matter how good of a running back you are. It's going to make it the job 10 times as difficult. So
Absolutely.
that's a team effort, I think.
Yeah.
I think he'll keep it up. I mean, we've seen
Think
the
so?
Saints been playing like these last 3 weeks. I think they'll be able to.
Yeah,
I think they'll
the
be able
Saints
to.
are doing good.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to our next. We have Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Rashik Rice.
Well, right now, because of Marvin Harrison's, he's got that fantastic game. I don't know, because this thing, my thing between Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., I was like so betting on Malik Neighbors. Like, I didn't think he would realistically go before Marvin Harrison in the draft, but I wanted him to because I just really saw potential in him.
He's a better player.
And he is a better player. He's been showing up every single game. He's like, I don't know. I feel like he's doing exactly what every rookie should do. Like he's making that noise, showing out. Like you said, he's bailing out
Jones every
Daniel
play.
Jones. So I'm in between it. I think Malik Neighbors should start just because he can keep that up. Marvin Harrison, he had those fantastic games. Like he picked it up, but I don't know.
So you cut Rashi Rice.
Yeah.
I'm going the complete opposite way. I think you start Rashi Rice. He's leading the league in receptions, second in yards, and he's right underneath for touchdowns. I think right now he's the bigger star than both of them. But Malik Neighbors is right there. I think Marvin Harrison, Marvin Harrison, give him a couple games. I think he'll get there. But as of now, Rashee Rice had a better season than both of them. Malik Neighbors, though, he's already a star. He's made his name in this league. He's a top 10 receiver in this league. But I am putting him right behind Rashee Rice, so I'd cut Marvin Harrison in this case.
That's why I'm starting Malik. Is just because since he's a rookie and he's playing up to Rashee Rice, it's like, I mean, if once he gets to Rice's level, how good is he going to be? So I'm looking a little farther into that. So I'm still starting Malik Neighbors.
That's why I'm starting him too. Exactly. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with those guys.
Yeah, definitely. So now we're going to move on to our MVP segment where each of you guys picked 2 of your MVPs from this week.
I think I'm up first.
Yeah, you're up first.
All right, here we go. All right, my guy, it's not necessarily a player, but it's Brian Flores. He's the best defensive coordinator in football. He's turned a mediocre defense into probably the best unit in the league right now. He's got Harrison Smith, probably one of the most underrated safeties ever. He's doing it all. He held the 49ers to, I want to say, scoreless through 3 quarters, I believe. CJ Stroud was pressured every single play. This defense is the reason they're blowing out teams. Yes, Sam Darnold's playing great, but we can't do it without a great defense. And this guy, he's leading the charge. They are a phenomenal defense this year. Moving on to the second guy. Come on, you knew it. This is the wide receiver 1 in San Francisco right now, not Brandon Ayuk. He didn't deserve that contract. They should have gave this guy his money. Should have been the Super Bowl MVP last year if they would have won the Super Bowl MVP. I mean, if they would have won the Super Bowl. But Juwan Jennings, they get 12 catches for 100-plus yards and 3 touchdowns, I think it was. Completed the hat trick. This guy's, I'm not going to say he's a star, but he is a great wide receiver. Like CMC Hoop, this guy's bowling out right now. Those are my 2 guys. I think they're the biggest pieces to their teams for week 3.
Right. Got my picks next. So I'm going with first. Now, I said this earlier. I was vouching for him earlier. I think Justin Fields is a big MVP of week 3, and I think he's going to continue being that player. He knew he had a lot to prove coming in because he wasn't supposed to be the starter, and then he got that opportunity, and it's about what you do with that opportunity when you get it, and I think he's really putting that through. And like you said, the Steelers, they've got one of the best defenses in the league, so obviously that's helping him out a lot. But he got the potential himself, and that's why he was traded to that team, and that's why it made so much noise and commotion when that trade happened. People were really excited about him, seeing also having 2 such possible quarterbacks in that position. I feel like Justin Fields is showing what he's supposed to do. He's not doing anything wrong. Sure, could he be a little bigger? Could he make some little bigger plays to prove that he's that guy? But I don't know. Right now, I think he was really in it for week 3.
Yep.
And then my next one, this is a little biased, but Aaron Rodgers, big Jets fan, happy to see him still in the game, not injured after the first down. He's doing it for the Jets. He's making those connections with Garrett Wilson. He's finding our wide receivers, fighting our tight end. He's doing what all Jets fans wanted him to do, especially after he had such relying on his back this season. He was supposed to be our guy last season, and now he's really coming out. I think we're doing better than we would have with Zach Wilson, or we're doing better than we would have with Mike White when we had him for a couple games. So I can't complain about Aaron Rodgers, and maybe this was a little biased, but I'm really happy with how he's
Sophia, do
playing.
you think Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP this year?
This whole year?
Yep.
I don't know because people are such Jets haters, and Aaron Rodgers haters.
Exactly.
So I think it's a little biased if I don't know. He's also older. People are going off of that too. Yeah. I feel like any excuse with Aaron Rodgers to make him not that guy, but I think he is. So that was my picks.
Solid. 3-0 quarterbacks got to be on there.
With my picks for this week, I am a little biased, but not with Derrick Henry. Okay, with Derrick Henry, I thought he did a really great time this week. He had 150 yards rushing on 25 attempts, averaging about 6 yards per attempt. So I thought that was really great. Scoring 12 of the 28 points this week for the Ravens. But the Cowboys do have a pretty bad run defense. But still, he's just so dominant, always been so dominant, even when he was with the Titans. I think he was such a steal for the Ravens. And I think he will continue this. With my next pick, I picked Nick Herbig. He did really great this weekend, I thought. He had 2 sacks out of the 5 sacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and also a forced fumble on Justin Herbert. So he's still a young guy. He's still growing. Part of the line, I mean, we got TJ Watt there. We got Cameron Hayward, Alec Highsmith, all them together, really dominant for the Steelers defense and the line. And they're stopping the run and the pass game altogether. So I think they're just going to continue to kill it.
Yep.
Okay, so for my picks, I would have to start off with Sam Darnold leading the Vikings to go 3-0. Surprisingly, after a poor performance with other teams in the past, he is now leading the lead in passing touchdowns so far, surprisingly. So for my next pick, obviously being a Giants fan, I had to go with Malik Neighbors. He's actually the youngest to have a multiple touchdown game in NFL history. So these are my picks.
Yeah. Malik Neighbors killing it, man.
Yeah, I'm good with both those. Those are really good picks for the
Absolutely.
MVP. I actually wanted Sam Darnold,
Yep.
but I knew by the time I put it in that it was going to be taken, so I didn't even try. And then Malik Neighbors, yeah, that too. That was a really good pick there.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's the truth.
So there are two games tonight, and before we give some score predictions on those, I want you guys to tell us if the two players shown on the board will go over and under their fantasy point prediction.
Who do we got first? Joe Burrow. 19.2 points.
I feel like it's a little high.
He is playing Washington, but they are a pretty solid squad. I'm gonna say give him the under. Nobody's performing this year in fantasy, especially the top guys. Give me the under.
I'd give the
Under.
under too, especially with the way that the entire Bengals team has been playing, and
Exactly.
I honestly like what Washington's doing so far, considering like their past as a team. That I got Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I'm not mad at Washington at all. So Bengals, he's making obviously he was going to talk himself up when we were in the preseason saying it's his year, but nothing's really happened yet.
Yeah,
So
I do think T. Higgins is back. Maybe that'll help him
maybe,
out. He'll be a big factor in this game.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say players like that you need to
Yep.
make those wins.
So we're taking the under on Burrow.
Yeah,
Under.
Josh Allen.
People
Smash it over.
People
Smash it
are
over.
hyping him up right now. He does this every season, I think.
Yep.
He's always like, oh, best quarterback. He's doing it. And then I've never seen him in a championship
No,
game.
never.
So
I think 21 points in fantasy for Josh Allen. I think that's low. I think if this bar was at 25, would have been a harder pick. I think he's a machine in fantasy. He's like a 30 bomb every week.
mhm.
So I think he's gonna be way over 21 on a weak Jacksonville defense.
I'll go on the over right now because of how he's playing and like the hype he
Yeah.
has right now. But if you asked me this like a couple more weeks in the season, I would say no.
Yeah, I'm going over too. I feel like during regular season, great quarterback, but under pressure and during the playoffs, he just fumbles. So yeah, but for now, I say over.
Yep.
Finally, we have the Bills versus the Jaguars and the Commanders versus the Bengals. Give us some quick score predictions on how you guys will think this game will go.
Commanders beat Bengals.
Wow.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
think so.
Jaden Daniels in his first primetime game is gonna go in and beat the Bengals. That's tough.
The Bengals have not been doing it for me. So
I think they're a good team. They kept up with the Chiefs last week. Probably should have won that game if it wasn't for that PI.
Mhm.
But I think the Bengals are the way better team here.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals.
Yeah, I
too.
trust them more.
Yeah.
going Commanders. I hope I prove you all wrong.
So, yeah. Our next, the other one was what, Bills, Jaguars? Yeah, Bills,
Yeah, I'm going
Jaguars.
Bills.
Bills,
Mhm.
Josh Allen.
And they're in
I
Buffalo.
like Trevor. I don't know. Josh Allen's doing good. He's on a high, but I really like Trevor Lawrence. So, but Bengals aren't doing too well.
Yep.
They always need that one game to get them back up. So
Yeah.
I'll go Bills.
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 What do you think?
Would have to go with the Bills, honestly. Yeah.
I prefer the
Yeah.
Jaguars though.
I'm taking the Bills. The Jaguars, they sell it. We're getting to that point in time where you got to be saying, is Trevor Lawrence really that guy? I don't know. He's not performing like it. He's got a pretty good squad around him. I still don't think he's as good as any of us thought he was coming into the league. We thought he was a generational quarterback coming in. The Jaguars haven't done much. I'm not that high on him no more.
Based on how he did when he was healthy, I'm giving him
Yeah.
some more weeks. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give him a couple more weeks. It's only like
I got it.
I'll give him a couple more weeks because
Yeah.
I'm not counting on him yet.
So that's it with 360 Sports. We'll see you on tomorrow's show, which is about college football.
There's a lot of football going on.
Yeah.